Diaf Rabi, Guest of God. This is a story about hospitality, a story that I have heard very often from my mother as a child. It has, like many other tales, not only been a formative tale for me, but it accompanied me throughout my life. I have translated it into French and German, but I kept the Arabic title in memory of my mother. The title, Diaf Rabi, if translated literally, means guest of God. It is a call, a sacred call. When a stranger, a traveler, approaches a nomad's tent or other dwelling, he stops in his pace at a certain distance, just so that he can be heard. And then he calls out the sacred call, Diaf Rabi, guest of God. The stranger, the traveler, proclaims with this, among other things, good people, keep your dogs at bay. I don't have evil intentions. God has led my steps hither. In His name I ask for your hospitality. I ask for asylum. And everyone who hears the sacred call is immediately in the obligation to offer hospitality or asylum. But now hear the story of Khaled-ouled-Hamed, the nomad. The story expresses more than all of my own words. Cater for the hungry and thirsty who stand at your door. Protect the refugee and offer them hospitality and asylum. Charity shall not only be an empty word. In ancient times there lived a nomad called Khaled-ouled-Hamed with his wife and children in a small nomad tent. They were poor but not unhappy. Khaled-ouled-Hamed stood out through his love for people, his readiness to help others, and through his hospitality. No stranger was able to walk past his tent without being offered something, be it only a cup of coffee or tea, a meal, or some dried dates. This nomad shared the little they had gladly with those even less fortunate and those in need. When people spoke about him, they said Khaled-ouled-Hamed is very close to God, because he loves humankind. The Almighty God, who sees everything, wanted to reward Khaled-ouled-Hamed and sent him his angel Gabriel with the message that he would possess wealth for 7 years, and that he should decide if he wanted the wealth while he was still young or when he had reached an age. The angel appeared in his dream, submitted the message and spoke, "Think well, I will be back tomorrow. Then tell me if you want the 7 years of wealth now or later in life." The next morning, Khaled told his wife about his strange dream. Without thinking about it twice, she replied to him, "If you want to follow my advice, take the wealth now while our children are still small. We are also still young and it will allow us to do more good and help others." So Khaled-ouled-Hamed, the nomad, received a great wealth. He constructed 2 huge tents besides his small one in order to prepare meals for the hungry, and the other one to offer a night's rest to travelers. Many people came. Some even made a huge detour just in order to get a good plate of couscous and a good night's rest. The 7 years passed by very quickly, and the day arrived when the angel Gabriel had to take back the wealth. The moment he was reaching out with his hand to take it away, a traveler arrived, close to the tents, shouting, "Diaf Rabi!" Khaled the nomad asked him inside with the words, "Enter the house of God." Startled, the angel Gabriel pulled back his hand. He decided to wait until the guest had moved on. But after this guest, the next one appeared, and then another one, and yet another, until the day was gone. The angel said to himself, I will come back tomorrow. But on the next day it was the same again, as it was the day after. It continued in that fashion 7 days in a row. At one point, God asked his angel, Gabriel, did you forget your assignment? To that Gabriel replied, Every time I reached out to take back the wealth, a traveler appeared, shouting, Diaf Rabi. And the nomad answered, Enter the house of God. O my Lord, how can I take away what is given in your name and belongs to you? If that is so, God spoke, this man should keep the wealth for the rest of his life. And so the nomad and his family stayed wealthy and helped the poor for the rest of their days. I wish upon all of us, dear listeners, that we never might forget that we are only guests in this world. This is an excerpt from the book The Storyteller of Algiers, Stories from the Maghreb and Elsewhere, told and published by Naceur Aceval in 2018. English audio version by Naceur Aceval, published with authorization and explicit encouragement of the author, illustrations and title image by Bendix Bauer. Currently, the book is only available in German. If you are an editor or interested in publishing an English version of the book, please contact the author's son, Naceur Aceval, under hakim@aceval.net. To order an autographed and dedicated copy of the book, please contact the author directly. You will find his email address under www.aceval.net or via his Facebook